Level 1 of Fix-It Grammar. I really like the idea behind this program. There's a story that you read called Nose Tree for level 1, and each time you take one of the sentences, you fix the problems in it, and you learn about grammar as you go along. So why was it not quite what I expected, and why aren't we using it this year? Time for a real page turner. All right, so let's take a look inside Fix-It Grammar. We've got two books here, the teacher's manual and the student book. It's $30 for the set. They both have similar information at the beginning of the book. There are instructions for what you're going to be doing for each page. It talks about how you'll learn a new concept. Then you're going to read the day's passage, which is about a sentence. You're going to look up the vocabulary word in a dictionary and write it down. Then fix it using different marks and also finding things in it, like finding the nouns and other parts of speech. And then rewrite the correct sentence at the bottom. They do have these other grammar cards that you can purchase as well. I did not purchase the grammar cards. Perhaps that would have been more helpful for us where we're at right now. And then here, the scope and sequence, it shows how they introduce the 8 parts of speech throughout the weeks. And these other things like capitalization, punctuation, clauses, homophones, other concepts like indentation and subject verb pairs, numbers, and stylistic techniques. Down here at the bottom is the list of vocabulary words. And in the teacher's manual, they have the same information at the beginning. And then it goes into your first lesson here. So learn it. This first lesson, they're teaching about noun. A noun names a person, place, thing, or idea. To determine if a word is a noun, test it. Can an article, adjective, a, an, or the come before it? And is it countable? So here's the test on the side. You can put the in front of it or a number such as 2 in front of it. And the way that you would mark it, they show you right here. You put an N on top of it. Then they talk about capitalization, capitalizing the first word of the sentence, putting the 3 lines underneath it to mark that, and then the N mark. So you're going to do a period or a question mark. And it says the same information here in the teacher's manual as well. Then we turn to the first day's work, week 1, day 1. The vocabulary word is always bold. So we would look that up in the dictionary and then write it down on a card, which you put in alphabetical order. And then up here at the top, so it tells you the vocabulary, then what you're going to mark here. It's 2 nouns, and it shows you you're marking them with an N. And then the things you're going to fix, 1 capital and 1 N mark. So here for the capital, he did the 3 lines underneath, marked the nouns, and put the question mark. Then rewrote the sentence at the bottom. In the teacher's manual, it shows you what it should look like when they finish. It tells you what the definition of the vocabulary word is. And at the bottom, it just makes sure that these are the things that they did do, and then shows how it should look as it's rewritten. Great, simple, open and go, short. So many things that I love about this. Now, why we're not using it though, is as we went through, it quickly moved on through different parts of speech. And we had not gone over different parts of speech before, so this was his first intro to these sorts of things. And it just became too much, too fast. Here we've got 4 articles, 5 nouns, 3 pronouns. It was taking a long time to think through each individual part of speech and was becoming more frustrating than helpful. And I feel like this would be such a fun program if he already had that foundation of knowing the parts of speech, and this was more of a review and going over them. And then we're getting into the who, which clauses, and it just became too much for us for this year. But I could totally see us using this in the future. I still think that it's a great setup, and I think if we were a little farther along, if we had done something that's a little bit slower in the grammar department and a little more immersive for each section, that this would be a great thing to use. So I'm going to keep this on our shelf for future use. In the end of the teacher's manual too, actually in both, they have a similar appendix where it includes the story, Nose Tree, that you can read to your kids. And we enjoyed the story. It was good. I've read it a few times to them as a group. Then they have a place where they can list their ly adverbs, strong verbs, and adjectives, quality adjectives that they can collect as they go through. So that's in the back of both the student book and the teacher. Then in the back of the teacher one, though, there's this separate glossary, which is really nice because it has all of the parts and things that you've been teaching them. But then they're all put together. So easy for you to turn to if you're wanting to go over a part with them without having to dig through. So I hope this was a helpful look inside and helps you to know if this is a good fit for you right now or possibly in the future. Real life is messy and beautiful and better with books.